This video is brought to you by HalloCasa. Our tool transforms independent local real estate agents to global real estate agents. Create your own profile for free and get contacted by international investors. Sign up with the link in the description. Hello and welcome everyone to our 161st session of HalloCasa. My name is Michael and today I'm talking to Kathleen Lappe from Nashville, Tennessee. Kathleen is a serial entrepreneur and trailblazer and the founder of DirectOffer, an AI-powered platform transforming how real estate communicates with consumers multilingually and interactively. Kathleen, I'm super pumped to have you on the show. We had a very good pre-talk already. I love your energy and your very, let's say, proactive and dynamic approach towards doing business. But let me not say too much. Welcome to the show. Why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Michael, thank you so much for having me on your show. For those that don't know me, many of you watching probably already know who I am. I'm Kathleen Lappe. I'm the founder of a company called DirectOffer Incorporated. We are a software company that builds software for the real estate, hotel, and hospitality industry. We specialize in AI technology, multi-language, not only US-based, but globally. And it's a passion of mine to take the industry to the next level. Real estate is without borders right now and forever. It was not going away, and AI is here forever. I mean, this is kind of no-brainer. So let's sort of talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Thank you so much, Kathleen, for giving this intro, and I love your approach regarding the international perspective. First and foremost, I would like to understand, how did you enter into real estate? Why real estate? What fascinates you in this entire industry?
Well, my family's been in real estate my whole life. They were multi-million-dollar producers in California. My job growing up in the family was to be in charge of their technology, distribution, and marketing. So I was always on the tech side, and what I understood really fast was agents are busy. They're constantly having to recreate the wheel. They've got a job here. Their job is to get a listing and sell a listing. I mean, or else what are we doing? Right? So as I watched technology change, this is not my first rodeo. I used to be head of South Central Kentucky Homes. I sold Real Estate Magazine in Kentucky and Tennessee. I sold that company. I started an MLS for auctioneers associations. I've always been in the business. DirectOffer Incorporated got started because there was a really huge need for real estate listings to be more global, more accessible, not only visually, but in audio and multi-language. Michael, did you know there's more podcast subscriptions in the United States than there are Netflix subscriptions?
I wasn't aware of that.
Text messaging. Text messaging was built for those that are deaf, and we all use it. Good technology that's ADA compliant, which our MLSs need today in the United States, and we also need it over on the other side of the pond. Listings need to be more accessible to everyone. If I'm an agent and I go to a seller to try to get a listing, I'm going to try to present the best package for it as to how I can sell your listing. And if I'm walking up to that seller and I'm presenting a listing package, and I am not addressing people with visual disabilities, hearing disabilities, and language barriers, I am missing almost now up to 30% of the market. So I'm basically telling that seller, hey, I've got you covered except for 30% of the market. Not cool. But our industry now has recognized that. That's why we're working with a lot of MLSs in the United States, and we're working with a lot of associations on the other side of the pond, because they're starting to recognize that we need to work together as a community and sell real estate as a community.
I think you are hitting the, how do you say it, the nail on the head with one thing. You're not only a tech entrepreneur and very strong regarding the technology, but you know exactly that the human being is at the core and the center of a proper solution. You're very much embracing, apparently, partnerships, end users, needs, and then also making sure that you're really creating an entire holistic environment and ecosystem. I'm curious about the partners you have onboarded on DirectOffer already. You have on your website CoreLogic, FlexMLS, SentryLog, a lot of different ones. Maybe also, to be super fair for me, because it's maybe something also very US centric, but also for the global audience. How do those organizations work, and why is it so important to collaborate and to embrace them and to work with them?
Well, in the United States, you mentioned some of our partners in kind, like CoreLogic. We are an alliance partner. We're a base partner of FBS. We are really embrace partnerships, and we're in a multitude of negotiations with some MLSs in the United States. We're partners with a bunch of associations in the United States, offering these tools for their members. When you get to the other side of the pond, though, there's the MLS structure isn't there like in the US. We all know that. And what's super important to understand is we have associations. And so we get involved with the actual associations who understand their members, they vet their members. That way we get a better quality of an individual agent who's been in the business and understands ethics, understands compliance, which is a big, big, big deal. Working overseas is completely different than the US. The data fields are different. RESO's a great example. As we know, our good friend Sandabor is working on an incredible library. And if you're not RESO compliant, go get RESO compliant. But overseas, we are figuring out what works for them as far as RESO compliance. And they are happy to work with us because, like you said, and what you do is you created a platform that allows agents globally to communicate together. And that's super important. We have the tech that supports a platform that helps the agents communicate globally.
Where do you see the trend going regarding, on the one hand, organizations, associations, locally? You mentioned before, called European Union, very scattered still, even in the US in itself, also with so many different MLS organizations. Where do you see there organization-wise? Do you see like there's some sort of conglomerates going to be started, or do you think it's still a very long way to get this common denominator regarding registration, maybe certain certifications and stuff, so that we have like a way of compliancy, which is definitely needed?
Is there going to be one global MLS? That is way, way, way in the future, if it's even probable. Is France going to want their MLS system, which will have to have a different name because the word listing doesn't translate correctly, comply? And with Italy, these countries want to do business the way they see business should be done, as well as the US. So respect in the culture and the way they run their business and sell their real estate is still being figured out right now. In the United States, there's all this talk about, what's going on with MLSs and what's going on with clear cooperation and what's going on in our end of the world. We are going to figure it out. It's going to be fine. In the end of the day, people sell their homes, people buy their homes. And we need to have data sets that are pure, that allow brokerages to communicate appropriately, not only locally, but nationally, as well as internationally. And it's just going to take time and due diligence, but we are going to get there. but not right away.
I see a lot of from end users, let's say potential buyers, I see a lot of complaints locally in Europe that listing platforms have duplicates, outdated, whatsoever. On the other hand, I talk to many brokers, also, yeah, individual real estate agents saying, I don't have time to upload like my listing on your platform as well and stuff. So I totally understand what you're saying is like we have to have one holistic way of entering the data and then it's being fed to a certain database, referring back to Rezos and also the other, well, also the other solutions. Regarding this tech stack, do you think we will be seeing a very strong trend from big franchises, or where do you see the franchises actually playing part? Because your approach is more towards the associations, the organizations. Definitely a Remax, even EXP, they have a lot of leverage there and say, listen, in our holistic environment, we are actually very coherent. We don't need you and we are so strong. We empower everyone who is on EXP, on Remax, and whoever doesn't want to work with us is just out of business. Where do you see there the dynamic of those franchises? May I ask you?
So in the United States, we work with our company works with MLSs primarily, although agents and brokerages can still sign up to use our technology tools individually, but we're primarily MLS driven. Overseas, like you said, we are association driven because it makes sense. Associations are very powerful. They're always looking for new revenue streams. Now, how does a brokerage in the U.S. Where's their head? Well, they want to be global. You can see what EXP is doing. You can see where Remax has traditionally been the leader globally, and you see other companies like the agency, which are growing exponentially. Mauricio Umansky's done an incredible job with this company. So, as these brokerages want to grow internationally, they're going to adopt tools like our company provides that gets them there faster. And they're going to adopt tools like what you provide. Because the fact is that you work on the other side of the pond, and I work in the United States, but the fact that pregame, anyone who's watching this, we dived into almost an hour meeting because there's so many synergies. Because we see that we're at the point in technology where we can now partner effectively. Brokerages members are still going to enter into their MLS in the US, but they may also engage in technology like yours or mine that give them a more streamlined, faster way across the pond.
Where do you see the next trends regarding the markets? You are right now, like you're very much focused. You talked to our before our call about Southeast Asia, Australia, UK. Where do you think like is the next trend going? Also, maybe from an investment point of view and also collaboration point of view. Like, do you see a lot of people from the US investing in Europe? Do you see it from the other way around, maybe towards Canada or outside of Canada? I talked to a lot of people from Latin America buying in Miami, for example. Where do you see there, investment-wise, a lot of transactions happening?
Well, there are a lot of transactions happening across borders. And, stop listening to the news. People from overseas are buying properties in the US and vice versa. This next generation, if you look at your next generation of people between these new young buyers, which are in their late 20s into their 40s, they're about to pump in over $70 trillion into our economy. And they like working remote. They look at, I can work in Italy as opposed to the United States. So there is, as far as people investing in properties in their first home and second home, what this generation is looking at. They're not looking at singular homes, they're looking at multi-homes. It's very much, they're looking everywhere. just depending on how you can get into the country, of course, and we can get into the weeds on that. And I don't think we're in this podcast to get into the weeds on, golden visas yet, but there's other layers that are layered on top as to whether or not they can buy property.
Absolutely. I know that from many people who are on the podcast from Portugal, and the tendency to buy, for example, in Portugal is very strong from US Americans, and the market has been very hot in Portugal itself. Regarding your next steps regarding your own company, DirectOffer, you are having on the one hand your tech, and then on the other hand, the process regarding, getting into the associations. Where do you see, your company in the next 3 to 5 years, and what's your vision?
So our technology, like I said, we're heavy in AI technology. We have for that particular patent, we have over 13 global patent assets in AI. We would like to see our technology on 75% of the market, if not as much as possible, in the United States, as well as overseas through associations. That way, we're creating sort of a community of listings together, because MLSs in the US want to do business overseas. They're just trying to figure it out. And if we can create a connect for MLSs in the US, then we're creating connect for those association members back to us. Because remember, the word multiple listing service doesn't translate overseas. It's an association.
Regarding the associations, do you see a lot of just, I don't know, no answers, a lot of repelling back, I don't know, back and forth, saying we're not interested, we are just like a closed association, we don't want to work with you? Or do you see them more open and really understanding the need of collaboration, especially like regarding cross-border transactions?
Oh, I think they're 100% open for collaboration. I think when tech companies or MLSs in the US approach them, we need to first understand, just like they need to understand ours, is what is our business model? What is their business model? What technology are they building? If you're going to try to shove American technology down their throat and they're already building that technology, it's going to be hard to work with each other. Understand what their goals are. And if you can fit a need of one of their goals and they don't have to build it or do it, and it gives them more exposure across a global market, that's gold. So understand these international associations, what they're doing, what they're building, and where they see themselves in 5 years. And it'll be a much easier conversation.
Perfect. Kathleen, I really like your profile, and especially like your trajectory regarding starting, from the ground up with a family from real estate, going into marketing, understanding really the dynamics, and then taking this entire knowledge and wisdom and basically alchemizing it into a very strong technology with AI, and then not only building something, but really understanding also the market dynamics and embracing them. I learned a lot during this podcast. You gave us a very strong overview on technicalities regarding the US, how it works. Also, obviously, Matthew gave a very nice intro on the MLS structure with this company Stella, and now you're a very nice second guess regarding this entire topic. And you gave us also a very good overview regarding your solution integrations, cross-border, making sure that we basically can do business in a credible, trustworthy way, and also making sure that this is easy for both the investor but also the end user. What are your final thoughts and some comments which you'd like to share with us, which we haven't touched upon yet?
Well, for your global audience, that, the technology solutions are there. They're not meant to, you don't have to learn how to do anything difficult. There's very simple technology solutions that your company offers, my company offers, that they can implement that can help them grow their business. In the US market, the same thing follows. You've got to change what you're doing, because the way we did real estate 5 years ago is not the way we're doing real estate today. And if you wake up, I always call it, when the market's good, I call it movies out. You get a flood of agents, new agents and everything. And then the market gets a little tough. And then everyone puts their license in escrow because it's not being handed to them. And then the agents that stay are the ones that embrace new technology and understand that they're working the job. Be the agent that works the job. Be the agent that does something different than every agent out there, and you will be successful.
I love that. Kathleen, thank you so much for your time and for your final words. How can people reach out to you if they're curious to get a hold of you?
You can go to our website, which is directoffer.com, or you can contact me directly, which is katie@directoffer.com. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Kathleen, and sending the best regards to Nashville, Tennessee.
Thank you. Thank you. You have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye. This video is brought to you by HalloCasa. Our tool transforms independent local real estate agents to global real estate agents. Create your own profile for free and get contacted by international investors. Sign up with the link in the description.